The Long Island Serial Killer. On Long Island, New York, where sun-kissed beaches and upscale communities painted a picture of paradise, a dark secret lurked beneath the surface. The tale of the Long Island serial killer would send shockwaves through the nation, unraveling a web of darkness that would span years and claim numerous victims. The first signs of something amiss appeared in late spring of 2010, when a police officer conducting a routine search stumbled upon the remains of a young woman in a dense brush off Ocean Parkway, a scenic stretch connecting several Long Island beaches. The discovery sent shivers down the spines of the tight-knit communities, a grim indication of something sinister lurking in their midst. As the investigation unfolded, it became apparent that the remains found were not an isolated incident. They were just the tip of the iceberg, a grim glimpse into the chilling reality of a serial killer's spree. As authorities scoured the area, more bodies emerged, all young women and most engaged in sex work. The killer had methodically left his victims in shallow graves, seemingly taunting law enforcement with the callousness of his crimes. The media dubbed him the Long Island Serial Killer, and the nation followed the terrifying developments closely. With each new victim, fear spread like wildfire among the residents of Long Island. An aura of paranoia settled over the community as people locked their doors, looking over their shoulders, wondering if they were next. In the daylight, the pristine beaches seemed inviting, but at night they transformed into ominous landscapes, concealing the remains of the killer's victims. The investigation was a labyrinth of twists and turns. Clues were scarce, and the killer seemed to leave behind little evidence. Authorities combed through countless missing person cases, trying to find any connections, but the killer proved elusive, and the case remained unsolved. As the years passed, the Long Island serial killer continued to haunt the collective imagination. More bodies were discovered, and the gruesome details painted a horrifying picture of a relentless and calculating predator. The victims were not mere statistics. They were daughters, sisters, and friends, stolen away in the prime of their lives. The task force dedicated to the case worked tirelessly, following leads, conducting interviews, and appealing to the public for assistance. But the elusive killer seemed to vanish into thin air, leaving law enforcement with more questions than answers. Meanwhile, the victims' families were left to grapple with the heartache and uncertainty. They yearned for closure, hoping that one day justice would be served, and their loved one's killer would be brought to justice. In the public eye, the Long Island serial killer's story took on a life of its own. Books, documentaries, and podcasts dissected every aspect of the case, attempting to shed light on the identity of the killer. Armchair detectives analyzed the evidence and speculated on possible suspects, but the truth remained elusive. As the years passed, the case grew cold, but the fear in the hearts of Long Island's residents persisted. The Long Island serial killer had become a boogeyman, a specter of terror that cast a shadow over the once idyllic communities. Then, in 2016, a startling revelation added a new layer of complexity to the investigation. The remains of 10 more people were found scattered across Gilgo Beach, expanding the body count and raising more questions about the killer's identity and motive. The investigation took an unexpected turn when it was revealed that some of the victims may have had ties to the world of online escort services. This revelation opened up a new avenue of inquiry, focusing on the possibility that the killer may have been exploiting the anonymity of the internet to lure his victims. Authorities followed this lead diligently, poring over online ads and tracing digital footprints, hoping to find a connection that would lead them to the killer. Yet, the killer remained one step ahead, his identity shrouded in darkness. As the case progressed, the families of the victims grew increasingly frustrated and desperate for answers. They staged vigils, held press conferences, and pleaded for anyone with information to come forward. The community rallied around them, supporting their efforts to find closure and justice. But the Long Island serial killer was cunning, eluding capture and continuing to strike fear into the hearts of Long Island's residents. The nation watched as the investigation unfolded, hoping for a breakthrough that would finally bring an end to the reign of terror. Years turned into a decade, and the Long Island serial killer's identity remained a haunting mystery. The case became one of the most notorious unsolved serial killer cases in modern history, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind even the most picturesque facades. As the years went by, the investigation continued, and the families of the victims never gave up hope that justice would be served. They clung to the memories of their loved ones, determined to keep their stories alive and to ensure that the Long Island serial killer would never be forgotten. Despite the frustration and setbacks, law enforcement's dedication to solving the case remained unwavering. The task force was relentless in their pursuit of the killer, exploring every lead, re-examining evidence, and utilizing advancements in forensic technology. Over the years, the Long Island serial killer case would undergo various shifts in focus and personnel, but one thing remained constant: the determination to bring this predator to justice. As new leads surfaced and old ones were revisited, hope of a breakthrough grew. In 2019, the case took a significant turn when police announced they had a suspect in custody. The arrest of an individual believed to be the Long Island serial killer brought renewed hope that the dark chapter that had haunted Long Island for nearly a decade might finally be coming to a close. As the trial loomed, the eyes of the nation were fixed on the courtroom, eager to see justice served. The families of the victims held their breath, praying for closure after years of anguish and uncertainty. The trial proved to be a dramatic and emotional affair, with chilling testimonies and evidence that revealed the depths of the killer's depravity. The suspect, faced with overwhelming evidence, was convicted on multiple counts of murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict brought a sense of closure to the families of the victims and a semblance of justice to the Long Island community. While the scars left by the Long Island serial killer would never fully heal, the knowledge that the predator responsible for such heinous acts was behind bars brought a measure of relief. But the story didn't end there. In 2023, a breakthrough in the Long Island serial killer case sent shockwaves through the nation. Law enforcement officials announced the identification of a new victim, shedding light on the chilling saga that had haunted Long Island for over a decade. The victim, a young woman with a radiant smile and dreams of a bright future, had been missing for years, her disappearance a painful mystery to her loved ones. With her identity now confirmed, the search for answers intensified as investigators worked tirelessly to piece together the puzzle of her final moments and the elusive killer responsible for this heinous crime. The new lead sparked hope among the victims' families and renewed determination within the law enforcement community to bring this long-standing case to a close and finally bring justice to those who had suffered unimaginable loss. The Long Island serial killer case remains a chilling reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places and that the pursuit of justice knows no bounds. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. We truly appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more captivating videos in the future. If you have any suggestions or topics you'd like us to cover, please let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned for more thrilling adventures.